Please rise, ladies and gentlemen. The 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan is now convened for its 115th regular session. The Honorable Vice Governor Adeline M. Angeles presiding.
The 115th regular session of the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan is now called to order. Requesting Honorable Mercy Rehana to kindly lead the invocation, to be followed by National Anthem and Marinduque March, then Board Members' Creed to be led by Honorable Aurelio Leva III.
In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, thank you for your hand of blessing in our life. Thank you for choosing to work enough to us today. I submit ourselves and our resources to you. Show us the ways to be a blessing to others, so that the earth will be filled with the knowledge of your glory. Let's love one another, love not in words, but in action. And we ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Walang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y bumay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka lang magiliw, sa manlulupi, kita masisingin, sa lalang at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo bangay. Ay nilang ang tulan, awit sa paglayang tinamay. Ang isang ng watawat mo'y namumpay na nagtitigil. Ang bituin ng araw niya kailan ang ating magdidilim. Yung parang araw ng aming pagsita, kaya langit sa atin ko. Aming ligaya na patay mamagin, at namatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Nakangiyas ng bansa, ganda mo'y bigay ni Bathala. Mga dagat mo't mga lupa, sayaman ay sagana. Ang iyong kakatinugat na bundukan, kaya madadalikan sa ikalang Diyos at ibigay. Ikalang ang karapatan, malina ang angin itong kanyamanin. Ang lupain ay aking bumalik, sa kasaluyo ay aking gamitin. At sumulat ang bayan natin, kaya namin minamahal, pamamitan ay ibigman. Ang sino man sa iyo ay mananan, ligaya ang makakamtan. Sa puso't sisip ng iyong mamamayan, kaya humingin ang iyong yawa. Nagsuwagaran ng iyong akilan, ang Marinduque aming bugyan.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I am a provincial board member
I am a provincial board member
given the mandate to serve
given the mandate to serve
my constituency through responsible, responsive, and effective legislation.
my constituency through responsible, responsive, and effective legislation.
Provide dynamic leadership. Promote and maximize the delivery of basic services for the general welfare.
Promote and maximize the delivery of
Under a regime of a truly consultative and participative democracy. I impose upon myself the supreme obligation to perform and carry out the functions
the supreme obligation to perform and carry out the functions
prescribed by law and selflessly with utmost dedication,
prescribed by law and selflessly and with utmost dedication.
thereby becoming a genuine catalyst of change
Therefore, I am becoming dignitaries
in my locality, in our nation.
in my locality in our nation.
Good morning. Requesting our good secretary to kindly call the roll.
Honorable Mark Julius Picavalles, Honorable Aurelio J. Leva III,
Present.
Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III, Honorable Bernardine Opis Mercado, Honorable Mel Gabal R. Encabo, Honorable Mercedes Arejano, Honorable Danilo Arred, Honorable Ismael D. Pilim, Honorable Jose Neril L. Manggol, Honorable Carlos F. De Peralta, Honorable Bertinos A. Valencia. Madam Presiding Officer, with the 9 members of the board present, we have the necessary quorum for this morning's session.
With 9 members of the board present, the chair then declares the presence of quorum. Recognizing the floor leader, Honorable Aurelio Leva III.
Madam Presiding Officer, for the reading and adoption of the minutes of the previous session, dated January 28, 2025, I move that we dispense with the reading of the said minutes and consider the same as having been read without prejudice or submission of corrections by the members of the board.
Any objection to the motion of the chair of the Committee on Rules? The chair hears none. Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Inviting members of the board who have some corrections with the minutes of the session dated January 28, 2025.
Any correction from the floor?
Hearing none, Madam Presiding Officer, I move that we approve and adopt the minutes of the 114th regular session of the 16th Sangguniang Panlalawigan dated January 28, 2025. I so move.
Any second to the motion? Duly seconded. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The minutes of the January 28, 2025 session of this Sangguniang Panlalawigan is now adopted.
Madam Presiding Officer, we now go to matters arising from the minutes.
With the indulgence of the floor leader and the members of this board, may the presiding officer request for reconsideration with regard to the approved supplemental budget for the Office of the Vice Governor during the last session, as provided in line 774 in the approved minutes in today's session. Thank you for the board for giving the requested 500,000 supplemental appropriation, but may the presiding officer request that it be increased to 1 million already. So the presiding officer requests the indulgence of the board to reconsider the supplemental appropriation for the vice governor in the amount of 1 million pesos instead of 500,000. For the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, we approved how much for the SP?
3.2.
We approved 3.5, and if you will reconsider, you may also consider additional 1.5 million to the SP, so that the supplemental appropriation for the SP will be 5 million pesos. and for the office of the Vice Governor, 1 million pesos. But that is just up to the consideration of the board. But with regard to the SP, nasa inyo po yun. But with regard to the OVG, the presiding officer requests that an additional of 500,000 be considered in the supplemental budget.
On that note, Madam Presiding Officer, may we ask for reconsideration of the approved appropriation for the Sangguniang Panlalawigan Legislative, Sangguniang Panlalawigan Secretariat, and the Office of the Vice Governor, and let it be transferred to the unassigned business in today's session so that we can consider the holistic approach on this matter, not only with the request of the Vice Governor, but on the other matters that may be included. Because I have also a reservation that an item for publication be included in this MOE of SP Legislative. So can we consider it at the unassigned business?
Thank you, Honorable Leva.
Or refer the same to the Committee on Appropriation and let the Committee on Appropriation dispense it in today's session.
Thank you, Honorable Leva. Na-recognize lang ho after due computation na kung i-implement ho sa first and second quarter kasi yung additional 100 pesos across the board for the JO and COS ay JO in particular ay kukulangin po yung 500 pesos appropriation for the OVG. And probably sa Sangguniang Panlalawigan din ho. So this item is now being referred to the Committee on Appropriation. And we'll be grateful if the Committee on Appropriation will recommend that it be included in the unassigned business. Who is the chairman of the appropriation is recognized, Honorable Lim.
Madam Chair, with this representation moves that the subject be transferred to unassigned business.
Unassigned business.
Unassigned
Report.
business. Madam Chair, I so move.
Be a part of the
Okay na po yan.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Lim. And the Committee on Appropriation. Thank you. Next item, Honorable Leva.
We now go to the approval and amendment of agenda if there's no more other matters arising from the minute. So let's proceed. We don't have any privileged speech nor question hour. For the messages and correspondence from the Governor, we have 3 items. For the communications and petition, we have 9 items. We don't have any municipal ordinances for review of the board, no proposed ordinance, 1 proposed resolution. We have 5 committee reports and 3 additional committee reports. For the unassigned unfinished business, we have no item for business for the day, 1 item for unassigned business, no item for proposed ordinance, and resolution for third and final reading. Before we continue, may I ask that we recognize the Honorable Bertinos A. Valencia.
Honorable Valencia is recognized. Let it be noted in the attendance. Thank you.
Madam Presiding Officer, I move for the approval of today's agenda as amended.
Any second to the approval of the amended agenda? Duly seconded by Honorable Lim, Honorable Mercado, Honorable Red. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The amended agenda is now approved.
As mentioned, we don't have any privileged speech nor question hour. Madam Chair, we now go to the committee reports. May this representation be recognized as Chairperson of Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances for the Joint Committee of the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances and the Committee on Women, Family Welfare, and Gender and Development.
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Before I made the report, this report was prepared last February 14, 2024, I think. July 16, 2024, but will be rendered today because we really waited for the presence of the author for this purpose. So Committee Report number 459-2024, Joint Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances, and the Committee on Women, Family, Welfare, and Gender and Development. Proposed Ordinance number 16-46, an ordinance institutionalizing the Republic Act number 8972, otherwise known as the Solo Parent Act of 2000, the program, services, privileges, and benefits of solo parent and their children in the province of Marinduque, appropriating funds therefore and for other related purposes. The Joint Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances and the Committee on Women, Family, Welfare, and Gender and Development, unto which the above stated subject proposed ordinance were referred to, hold a follow-up joint committee hearing on July 16, 2024, and its findings and recommendations are now being presented to this honorable body for consideration and appropriate legislative action. In attendance were the following: Honorables Leba III, Rihano, Mangkukang III, Red, Manggol, and Valencia. Resource persons were Mr. John Eric J. Matining, the LG Program Manager, Ms. Ethel Emily Tesda Marinduque, Ms. Miriam S. Diwa, Provincial Budget Officer, Mr. Blair Edgar M. Dimano, Acting HRMO, Ms. Rowena L. Martiliano, PSWDO, Person on Women, Focal Person on Women, Ms. Mary Ann M. Laracas, MSWDO Torrijos, Ms. Crystal Gail Hernandez, SWO1, Ms. Sandra Lay Ann M. Lutilia, MSWDO Mugpog, Ms. Hazel Maureen L. Gonzalez, MSWDO Buwak, Ms. Joy M. Francisco, Solo Parent, Focal Person Buwak, Ms. Buena Grace Rodriguerio, SWO1 Buena Vista, Ms. Hanilet Pulio, Solo Parent Representative of Buwak, and Ms. Mylene C. Ordiliano, Solo Parent Representative of Mugpog. Findings: on October 12, 2023, a joint committee hearing was held wherein it was recommended that the top proposed ordinance be amended, revised, to conform with DILG Memorandum Circular number 2023-140, which provides for the guidelines for local government unit and other concerned on the implementation of RA 11861 and CSC Memorandum Circular number 080/2024, which prescribe that the guidelines on the grant of parental leave to solo parents. On February 14, 2024, a follow-up hearing was conducted and the following was agreed upon: to inquire from the Provincial Budget Officer if the office could fund the provision of 1,000 monthly cash subsidy to solo parents as provided for under Section 15A of Republic 11861. To inquire from the national government agency enumerated under Section 13 of the proposed ordinance if they have specific programs for solo parents, and to schedule a follow-up hearing and advance copy of the proposed ordinance will be furnished to the invited resource person for their comments and suggestions. On July 16, 2024, a follow-up hearing was held wherein the following facts and findings were established: the granting of subsidy-tested monthly cash subsidy of 1,000 pesos shall be allocated by the concerned city or municipal government as provided for under Section 12 of Republic Act 11861. In the application of the Solo Parent Identification Card, Section 11 of the Revised Implementing Rules of Regulation of Republic Act 1161 provide that the solo parents should visit the Social Welfare and Development Office of a city or municipality of his or her residence to manifest the need for assistance, fill up the application form, and undergo the necessary assessment process, attends the solo parents orientation seminar, while the solo parent office of the province or the solo parent division of the will shall review and verify the documents submitted by the applicant prior to the issuance of SPIC and booklet. Other services such as comprehensive package of social protection for solo parents and their families shall be developed by the Secretary of the DSWD in coordination with the heads of DOH, DepEd, CHED, TESDA, DOLE, DOF, DMW, DOJ, NI, NHA, DILG, DTI, BIR, CSC, PhilHealth, NEDA, PCW, Union of Local Authorities of the Philippines or ULAP, and LGUs and other concerned agencies, civil society organizations, and non-governmental organizations with recognized credentials in providing services for solo parents. The DSWD, in coordination with the concerned government agencies, shall provide livelihood development services, medical, burial, educational or assistance, counseling services, parent effectiveness services, critical incidents, stress debriefing, intervention for individuals needing special protection, and legal assistance. The MSWDOs present during the hearing unanimously agreed that the basic services to the solo parents under Republic Act 8792 as amended by 11861 shall be done by the municipal government through the respective municipal social welfare and development office. The responsibility of the provincial government under the said law is to establish a solo parent office that shall serve as a general information and liaison office for solo parents, monitor compliance with the provisions of the law, and draw up a list of available and required services to solo parents, among others. The representative from the DILG office, provincial office, stated and clarified that the role of the provincial government is to handle the database of registered solo parents in the province and to verify the data if there are applications for transfer of solo parents from one municipality to another. The provincial government of Marinduque, while the SPO is yet to be established, had designated Ms. Rowena L. Martiliano, Social Welfare Aide at PSWDO, as the provincial focal person for solo parents. The municipalities of Buwak, Nueva Vista, Torrijos, and Mugpog already had already enacted their respective municipal ordinance on the implementation of the provisions of Republic Act 8972 as amended by Republic Act 11861. Recommendations to request the municipalities of Gasan and Santa Cruz to pass the respective municipal ordinance on the localization or implementation on the provisions of Republic Act 8972 as amended by Republic Act 11861. That the proposed ordinance 1116-46 be laid on the table, considering that most of the services to solo parents as provided for under Republic Act 8972 and 11861 are to be implemented by the city or municipal government. Respectfully submitted, yours truly, Chairperson of the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances, Ms. Mercedes Arellano, Acting Chairperson of the Committee on Women, Family, Welfare, and Gender Development, concurred by Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballas, Honorable Antonio L. Mangkukang III, Honorable Jose Neril L. Manggol, and Honorable Bertinos A. Valencia. Madam Presiding Officer, may I move for the adoption of Committee Report number 459, Series of 2024.
Thank you, Honorable Leva. Just an additional information. I think the municipality of Mugpog has already enacted.
Yes, Madam Chair. Because
So,
of the timeliness of this report, the municipality of Mugpog will be added already.
Okay.
So there are only two municipalities who have not adopted solo parent ordinance that those are Gasan and Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz. So the report will be amended accordingly.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay. Thank you. There is a pending motion from the reporting committee chair on behalf of the joint committees. Any objection for its adoption? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The amended joint committee reports rendered is now adopted.
And that the accompanying resolution, particularly the recommendation number 1, be transferred to the business for the portion of today's session.
And likewise, yes, and the resolutions in the adopted committee report will be considered in the business for the day. Thank you, Honorable Leva and the joint committees.
We now go to the committee report 551 series of 2025 of the Committee on Tourism Development and Cultural Heritage.
The Chair, Honorable Antonio Mangkukang is now recognized.
Maraming salamat po, Binibining Tagapangulo at sa ating floor leader. Narito po ang committee report number 551, that's 2025 Committee on Tourism Development and Cultural Heritage. Subject, recommended legislative agenda in Marinduque Provincial Tourism Development Plan 2020 to 2030, Volume 2. Madam Chair, the reporting committee and to which was referred the above-mentioned subject matter is now ready to submit its recommendations to this august body that were adduced from the hearing conducted on January 21, 2025 with Mr. Rino P. Labay, OIC Provincial Tourism and Cultural Officer, and Ms. Susan M. Nasser, Marinduque Provincial Tourism Development Council President as resource persons. Attendance, Honorable Antonio Almugang III, Honorable J. Leva III, and Honorable Bernardine E. Opis Mercado. Findings. First, during the 108th regular session of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan held on November 26, 2024, Mr. Danilo Dan B. Intong, former Department of Tourism Region 4B, Mimaropa Regional Director, gave recommendations, particularly on the legislative aspect for the proposed Marinduque Provincial Tourism Development Plan 2020 to 2030, Volume 2 of the Province of Marinduque. Second, the Marinduque Provincial Tourism Development Plan 2020 to 2030, Volume 2 is necessary in order to clearly A. Define the development potentials and challenges of Marinduque to gear up in tourism industry. B. Picture out and lay down the tourism development direction of the province by stating its goal in tourism development hinged in anchored from the development vision of the Mimaropa region where it is a part. C. Lay down the needed tourism development strategies, objectives, and action items or steps after a series of consultations and workshops. D. Project the probable outcomes in the realization of the provincial tourism development goal. E. Define the implementing mechanism and the manner by which the PPAs be carried out and undertaken. And E. Table all needed action items under each development strategies. Diligent prioritization done through after rapid assessment and validation of tourism products, sites, attractions, facilities, and services. Third, the Marinduque Provincial Tourism Development Plan 2020 to 2030, Volume 2 is intended to put the heart of Philippines in the global tourism market, thereby realizing its goal to Marinduque, a destination of choice in 2030. Fourth, recommend legislative agenda in tourism. A. Review the Provincial Tourism Code that shall institutionalize the Provincial Tourism, Culture and Art Office as a distinct department of the provincial government with rationalized organizational setup and responsibilities and duties based on the Public Act 9593 and the Civil Service Commission Memorandum Circular. Adopt the recent rules, regulations, and standards of accreditation of TOEs and TREs by the Department of Tourism. Provide for the organization of the Provincial Tourism Culture Arts Council following the primer of the Tourism Council of the Philippines, and compulsory membership of all TOEs and TREs and organizations of culture and the arts, already provided under Section 11 of Provincial Ordinance Number 185 Series of 2022, the Provincial Tourism Code. Provide compulsory registration of all tourism-oriented and related establishments or enterprises. Provide incentives, support, and protection to local TOEs and TREs, especially those engaged in inbound tourist arrival. incorporate Batas Pambansa 344 and Department of Tourism Free Access Barrier-Free Policy in the establishment of accommodation facilities and tourism sites, provide for the defined legal easement limit in tourism structures and facilities to 60 meters from the highest level of water along beach fronts, lagoons, and river banks, adopt and provide a rationalized standards on sewage facilities of accommodation, food and beverages, and tourism sites facilities of Department of Health and Department of Environment and Natural Resources. Impose a stricter policy on the establishment of STP for accommodation facilities in 25 or more rooms. Monitor regularly through a provincial task force composed of MPT-CAO, PHO, DALG, and PENRO of the DENR, the operations of restaurants and other food and beverages facilities and services along hygiene, cleanliness, solid and liquid waste disposal, sanitary comfort rooms, clean and organized kitchen, regular pest control, safety and emergency, and application for new registration and licensing of all TOS and TREs to any national agency and local government unit. Applicant shall seek endorsement from the MPT-CAO that shall look into the enterprise proposed business name, location, site, and building plan organization. B. Legislate an ordinance that will harmonize all requirements, policies, and standards of Department of Tourism, DENR, BOF, DOH, DTI, DPWH, and LGU in the establishment of mabuhay accommodation facilities, hotels, resorts, and tourism sites. And C. Legislate an ordinance that prohibits and penalizes operation of illegal tour operators, travel agents, tourist transports, and tour guides in the entire province. Masasagot po nito, Madam Chair, yung problema natin na ang nakikinabang lang ay ang lalawigan ng Quezon, dyan po sa ating Maniwaya Palad Bar. Ano po? D. Endorse project proposal for tourism infrastructure projects and other programs for funding agencies as a standard requirement for approval. E. Legislate an ordinance for the mandatory DOT accreditations of all TOEs and TREs. And F. Submit a resolution to Congress declaring Marinduque the heart of the island Philippines. Initial recommendations. First, to schedule a Marinduque Provincial Tourism Meeting with the Provincial Governor regarding the aforementioned recommendations and for the provision of necessary funds for its implementation. Second, to send a letter to the Office of the Provincial Governor, attention to the Provincial Human Resource and Management Office of PHRMO, requesting for the implementation of Article 5, Section 13 of Provincial Ordinance Number 185, Series of 2022, Turista Code of the Province of Marinduque, strengthening and elevating the status of Marinduque Tourism and Cultural Office, MTCO, into the department or office created under Provincial Ordinance Number 3, Series of 1995. Third, that the Provincial Tourism and Cultural Office, PTCO, to identify and to submit to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan through the Committee on Tourism the list of all municipal tourism infrastructure plans and projects of the local government units in the province of Marinduque for reference. 4. That the proposed declaration of the Luzon Datum of 1911 in Mugbog, Marinduque as a geodetical historical landmark of the Philippines be consulted to the Office of the President. 5th, to request the Marinduque Tourism Council to come up with an official tourism tagline subject to the approval and concurrence of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. Here is the final recommendation, Madam Chair. Based on the foregoing, the committee hereby recommends for the adoption of the following resolutions. First, resolution requesting the House of Representatives, 19th Congress of the Philippines, through the office of the Honorable House Speaker Martin Romualdez, for the declaration of Marinduque as A, the heart of the island Philippines, B, butterfly capital of the Philippines, and C, Moriones origin and Denton rights capital of the Philippines. Second, resolution reiterating the request to the office of the President for the issuance of a presidential proclamation declaring February 21, 2025 as a special non-working holiday in the province of Marinduque in observance of the re-establishment of the same as an independent province. And third, a resolution providing for the conduct of an online contest for the creation of an official tourism tagline for the province of Marinduque and appropriating necessary funds for the purpose to be implemented by the Provincial Governor's Office through the Provincial Tourism and Cultural Office, PTCO. And the approval for first reading of the following proposed ordinances authored by Honorable Antonio Mangkukang, Chairperson, Committee on Tourism, co-authored by all the members of the committee. First, an ordinance harmonizing all requirements, policies, and standards of the Department of Tourism, DENR, BOF, DOH, DTI, DPWH, and LGU in the establishment of mabuhay accommodation facilities, hotels, resorts, and tourism sites in the province of Marinduque. Ito po, Madam Chair, ika-categorize natin alin ang lodging inn, alin ang hotel, first star, second star, 3 star, alin ang 5 star, ano po, alin ang resorts, alin ang mga tourism sites. And for the second, an ordinance prohibiting the operation of illegal tour operators, travel agents. Ito na nga po, Madam Chair, ang laki po na nawawala nating income. Ano po, ang ating ang bayan ng Santa Cruz, maging ang lalawigan ng Marinduque, sapagkat maraming illegal tour operators na pumapasok diyan sa Santa Cruz, particularly sa Maniwaya. Ano po, at mali talaga po ang sistema kasi kung port to port yan, ano po, ang kanilang bangka from Quezon dapat mag-dock sila ng port ng Buyabod. Pero po anong nangyari, diretso na sila sa Maniwaya. So wala po talagang maling-mali po ito. So another ordinance prohibiting operation of illegal tour operators, travel agents, tourist transport, and tour guides in the entire province and providing penalties for violation thereof. Third, an ordinance providing for the mandatory Department of Tourism registration of all tourism-oriented environment TOEs and tourism-related enterprises TREs. Fourth, an ordinance declaring Marinduque as the heart of the island Philippines. And fifth, an ordinance institutionalizing the conduct of the Festival of Festivals every February of each year in observance of the province of Marinduque's founding anniversary and its re-establishment as an independent province. Respectfully submitted, the Committee on Tourism and Development. Magandang umaga po, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Antonio Mangkukang, for the very comprehensive report. Kapag nangyari ito lahat, I think it will be very productive legislation. So, what is the pleasure of Honorable Mangkukang? Before that, Honorable Leva, you have something to say?
Meron po kasing initial recommendation number 4, yung that the proposed declaration of Luzon datum of 1911 of Mugpog as geoletical, pero wala po sa final recommendation. Baka po pwedeng mag-adapt tayo ng resolution.
Yes po, Madam Chair. Isama po natin sa ating final sa resolution. Naumit nga po dito. Wala nga pa.
So that will be an amendment, an addition.
Yes, Madam Chair. So,
The recommendations of the committee involves both purely legislative intervention at meron din namang executive legislative, more on administrative thing. Dito po sa yung sa creation of the office, it was created already, no, through the Turista Code. So siguro po ang tama dito ay maghingi tayo ng update as to the status of the implementation on this. Kasi para akala ako bagong pa lang yon na requesting for the implementation na pala ito. Oo. Sige, or requesting for an update on the implementation of the ordinance, yung particular article, so that they will explain to us if there is baka naman may may ongoing process. So requesting for a status
update implementation.
or update on the status of the implementation of that particular. Dapat kasama talaga ito sa priority dahil lagi nating binabanggit ang tourism, pero pag wala talagang taong magalaw at opisinang matuto, mahirap talaga. So yes, Bukal and Cabo, I think you're the
Yes, Madam Chair.
sponsor of the Turista Code.
Madam Chair, nakakatuwa dahil the previous before kailan ba yun yung 15 Sangguniang na approve po natin yung and then nasusugan po ngayon, nakakatuwa po, salamat kay Bukal Tres, thank you Bukal Tres, and then makorek yung ibang andun sa master plan. This is the volume 2, may volume 1 na po tayo, and then this is volume 2. Thank you Bukal Tres. I just want to ask, may ina-approve tayo last session natin na kasi matagal ko na po ito, Madam Chair, na tinatanong, we have to correct yung mali po natin, yung flow natin na nangyayari na most tourists na pumapasok dito is coming from Quezon na hindi po dumadaan sa talaga, hindi po dumadaan sa munisipyo, and then walang data kung ilan ang pumapasok. Through this ordinance, siguro makukorek po natin do. I just want to ask, may na-approve tayo last session natin na building infrastructure na itatayo sa Maniwaya. Ito ba yun, Bukal Tres? Kasama ba to dito sa ito dito gagamitin?
Madam Chair, lahat po ng mga projects related to infrastructure related to tourism, kasi covered na po lahat dito. And ang mga infrastructure projects ng 6 municipalities, even the province. Thank you po.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Encabo. Thank you, Honorable Mangkukang. So ano po yung yes, Honorable Lim?
Madam Chair, just with a manifestation, just a manifestation, Madam Chair, to the chairman on tourism. Yung pong mentioned earlier about port to port, wherein the motorized bangka from Quezon are required to go to the port of Buyabod. I suggest, Madam Chair, that we forego with that to Honorable Mangkukang with his indulgence. Siguro po, Madam Chair, accreditation po ang lahat ng mga pupunta sa Maniwaya at saka sa Palad Sandbar ay siguro po what we required from those travel tours is accreditation, Madam Chair. It would be highly impractical for motorized bangkas to go first from Quezon to go first to Buyabod and then return back to Maniwaya just to register.
Okay. Any comment
Accreditation
from
po,
the
Madam
chair
Let us-
with regard to the recommendation of Honorable Lim?
Let
Yes,
us not counter this tourism process because it is most convenient for the tourist And instead, let us embrace them and just try to make some regulations.
Okay. Any comment from the
Madam Chair, ito po ay nasa proposed ordinance natin to be calendared on the next session and on the first reading. And the title is an ordinance prohibiting the operation of illegal tour operators, travel agents, tourist transport, and tour guides in the entire province and providing penalties for violation thereof. At isa po sa tatamaan nito ay yung mga illegal operators na nagagaling ng Quezon na pumupunta at sinasamantala ang ating palad bar sa Maniwaya, Santa Cruz. Ano po, at isa nga po sa recommendation dito ng ating consultant ni former Director Dan Intong, ano po ay katulad ng mga ginagawa sa pantalan ng Bohol, pantalan ng Puerto Galera, pantalan ng Boracay, ano po na pantalan ng ito pupunta sa Carabao Island, ano po pumupunta sa Palawan, El Nido, pumupunta sa mga island ng Coron, ano po na hindi kagad sila dumediretso sa mga islets.
Okay.
Ano po, kailangan talaga po ito ay merong port to port at sila ay magre-register para makuha natin yung registration kung sila pumapasok, and kailangan sila ay tama po, dapat ay sila ay accredited ng province bago sila makapasok at makapagdala ng mga turista dito sa ating lalawigan, and they have to pay kung ano yung mga kailangan nilang bayaran sa LGU, ano po, sa barangay doon.
Okay, ito naman ho ay I think just the title of the ordinance pa
Yes
lang,
po,
no?
pag-uusapan pa po yan.
You with regard to the content, mapapag-usapan and any amendment can
Yes,
be
Madam
done
Chair.
in the process.
Yes pa.
Yes, maybe the author could just take note in advance of the initial observation of Honorable Lim. Honorable Rihano.
And another manifestation is pag-aralan din po muna natin kasi iba yung sitwasyon and location noong ating, most especially Dapalad. Talagang iba yung sa El Nido, iba yung ano, pero yan iba kasi adjacent to Quezon. Alangan naman na talagang it is not proper. So siguro ang gagawin natin, Mr. Author, na we coordinate also, mag-coordinate yung Marinduque, yung Santa Cruz to General Luna and Katanawan on the other pantalan ng Quezon, na magkaroon din tayo doon ng samahan yung opisina, kasi hindi natin alangan naman yung galing sa General Luna na pupunta sa Palad at saka yung galing yung pupunta sa ungab ng Mungpong and Maniwaya and Mungpong, ipupunta pa sa inland natin ng Santa Cruz, ng Buyabod. So, siguro pag-aralan din natin kung paano natin ating pag-aralan kung ano yung sitwasyon.
Okay. So that can be that is another observation, parang may extension office in the other.
Ayun po ang aking ano.
So
Madam Chair, maganda po ang suggestions and recommendations po ng ating mga kasamahan. Ano po, at well taken po lahat yan. Ano po, ninote po natin lahat yan. At once na mag-craft na po yung ating ordinance at tinatakal na natin on the second reading, papasok po lahat yung isasama na po natin yung mga recommendations ninyo. Kaya nga po, ang kailangan natin dito ay nasa title po, ipaprohibit talaga natin yung mga operation of illegal tours. So yung sinasabi yung recommendation na kailangan magkaroon tayo ng satellite office sa Katanawan, sa General Luna. So that will happen. Ano po, doon po siya papasok sa ordinance natin. So nandito lang po yung title para hindi sila yung title ng ating ordinance.
So the reporting committee chair is committing to take note of the observation of Honorable Rihano, Honorable Lim, Honorable Encabo.
Chair, it's correct, the observation of Bukal Mercy and Bukal Mael. Pero if you remember na we have approved yung infrastructure na isang building na to be put up, tourism building to be put up sa Maniwaya, it will help a lot kahit hindi na tayo dumaan sa inland ng mainland ng Marinduque, diretso siguro sa Manibaya. And that's one of the recommendation before pa. Na meron tayong tourism office sana dun sa Manibaya, sa Three Islands. Maraming salamat, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Encabo. Honorable Leva.
I am a member of the committee, but I want to be educated on whether Marinduque Provincial Tourism Development Plan 2020 and 2023 Volume 2 has already been adopted by the Sangguniang. I think it was introduced by Mr. Intong, but no formal endorsement to the Sangguniang. May we know from the distinguished sponsor, Madam Presiding Officer, if we have already adopted the Volume 2 of the Provincial Tourism Development Plan?
Yeah, I think it is in the process. Maybe hear from the reporting committee chair and also our secretariat for additional information.
Madam, tama po, ito po ay nasa under process. Ano po, ginagawa po ito at ito nga binabalangkas po natin at pinapaganda at inaayos. So,
but we are already implementing the provisions of this plan prior to its adoption. Is that correct?
yung pong mga proposed ordinances po na isasama natin doon, ito po ginagawa po natin.
Okay po. So we have not yet approved the volume 2 of the approved na? Approved.
Ito po yung naalala ko. Kaya ko din na nakatatak rin sa utak kong in the process. Meron ho tayong inaprubahan na resolution approving the Marinduque Provincial Tourism Development Plan for 2020 to 2030, Volume 2, subject to the recommendation contained in the committee report.
Okay.
So, meron po pala. Pero meron nung binabanggit noon, kailan ito? Last year. Pero nung naging bisita natin, kailan nga po natin naging bisita? Last November, ang binabanggit po niya ay merong magiging pagbabago din dito. Kaya, hindi ko po alam kung ito yung mga binabanggit niya na dapat i-integrate doon sa volume 2. Ito po. Yung volume 2 po ay naging output yan noong kanilang activity dun sa isang resort. Pero ang binabanggit po dito ay mukhang may mga pagbabago pa rin doon sa volume 2. Yes, Honorable Red.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair, may I request that the committee chair of the Committee on Tourism may invite the
Consultant?
Santa Cruz, Municipality of Santa Cruz, Madam Chair. Kasi nung ako po ay konsehal, ay marami kaming plano dyan na pwede tayong makakuha ng mga magagandang datos para po maging successful before the approval of the ordinance, Madam Chair. Dahil dito sa iba po talaga ito. Lagi nating kasama ang municipality dito sa Maniwaya sa pag-implement nito. Dahil unang-una, hindi naman basta papayagan Santa Cruz na magte-take over ang probinsya na yung ordinance natin may sarili silang ordinance. Actually, hanggang sa bangkero ginawa namin yan lahat po ng mga plano dyan. Kaya sana po, Madam Chair, before the approval of this ordinance, i-invite natin ang Municipality of Santa Cruz.
Okay, thank you for the reminder, Honorable Red. For the information of the body, just in case po ma-adapt itong committee report ng Committee ng Tourism, at may mga proposed ordinance po sila dito, it will only be approved for first reading. If proper motion will be made, then it will again be referred to proper committee to discuss naman the details and the specifics of the proposed ordinances. So, dadaan pa rin po talaga ito. That's my impression. Wala pa rin namang draft ordinance, diba? Because it is just for the title. Then, it will be properly referred to the committee, and yun po yung magiging opportunity naman para sa mga detalye and pag-imbita ho ng mga concerned stakeholders per ordinance.
Every meeting po naman ng tourism officer of every town are invited. Totoo po yun, ini-invite po namin sila, and then inaano po namin sila kung anong recommendation nila. Every LGU po sinusulatan, and then siyempre pinapakinggan po kung ano po ang adaptable doon sa kanilang lugar, kung paano gagawin. Kaya hindi po dito sa ordinansa ito, alam ko, hindi babaliwalain ang bawat munisipyo. Pinapatawag po talaga dyan ng every municipal officer ng every town. Tama po ba ako, Bukan?
Sorry,
Thank you.
Okay po. Thank you, Honorable Encabo. Honorable Lim?
sorry for the word, Madam Chair, not objecting, reservations.
Okay. Yeah, at maganda na rin po kasi maigi ng may ordinansa para nga nagkakaroon ng leveling off pagdating sa roles ng bawat isa. Kasi totoo yun, marami na kitang investment doon, pero minsan ang nangyayari ay nagkakaintayan, sino bagang mag-maintain noon. Di po ba? May mga improvements kita sa pulo, for instance, pero nagkakaasahan kasi walang specific na ordinance kung ano ba yung katanggap-tanggap sa barangay, katanggap-tanggap sa munisipyo. So thank you. Siguro look out po ito ng ating reporting committee chair. May mga ilan hong importanteng information na minamanifest ang ating mga kasama lalo na sa Santa Cruz that may be worth considering this early. Honorable Rehano.
At ang ating po ay Mr. Tourism na ito ay ating pong pag-usapan as a whole, committee as a whole, para po naman na lahat ay maging planchado ang lahat ng ating mga gagawin.
There's a pending motion from the reporting committee chair for the can the reporting committee chair, Honorable Mangkukang, kindly reiterate your motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Committee on Tourism is formally moving for the adoption of the committee report number 551-2025, and likewise the accompanying resolution be included in under business for the day, and also requesting the Secretariat to please calendar the various proposed ordinances on the next session on the first reading. I so move, Madam
Pwede na
Chair.
ngayon, no?
Pwede na ngayon?
Oh.
Okay pa.
Approval on first reading
Approval
today.
of all
Or the proposed ordinances.
proposed ordinances on the first
On
reading.
first
Madam
reading, so I can properly refer it to the concerned committee. With regard to the resolution, the recommendation is for inclusion in the business for the day, not necessarily in today's session.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay. Thank you. Is there any objection to the motion of the reporting committee chair for the adoption of the report rendered? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The report and recommendations rendered by Honorable Mangkukang on behalf of the Committee on Tourism is now adopted. And likewise, there's included in the adopted committee report is the adopted recommendation to approve on first reading all proposed ordinances, and with that it is approved on first. They are approved on first reading and further referred to the committee on committee of the whole, led by the Committee on Tourism, for proper disposition. With regard to the resolutions, anong resolution na? resolution of a request, I think it can be considered in the business for the day of the succeeding session. Not today. Is that okay to Honorable Mangkukang?
Madam Chair, can I manifesting to include the resolution approving the request to the President of the Republic of the Philippines declaring February 27 as non-working holiday.
You want us to approve it today?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay. So that particular item will be considered in the business for the day. All other proposed resolutions will be included unless, yes, Honorable Leva.
That particular resolution was already adopted by the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. It's only a reiteration of the same. So, it cannot hold water. Siguro naman ay pwede na rin pong makapag-intay. Let it be of record na I will give 2 options as committee chairman after this.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so is the chair, so will it be okay for the chair? Let's just consider that also on the next session.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Anyway, hindi na rin naman yan maa-aprubahan if our intention is start ngayong ano. So with that, there is an adopted committee report already, and approval on first reading, proper referral, and inclusion in the business for the day. What is the pleasure of Honorable Leva?
Okay na po yan?
The chair declares the report as rendered adopted.
Yes, madam. The parliamentary status, we are still on the committee report, and the next report is the chairperson of Education, Culture, and the Arts for the committee report number 552-2225. Meanwhile, may I ask that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Blue Ribbon Good Governance, Public Accountability, Human Rights, and Social Justice for committee report number 553, series of 2025.
The chairman on Blue Ribbon Committee, Good Governance and Public Accountability, Human Rights and Social Justice is recognized.
Presiding Officer, proposed resolution number 2025-965. The reporting committee, and to which was referred above mentioned subject matter, is now ready to submit its findings and recommendations to this august body for appropriate legislative action. The findings. The Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Marinduque has demonstrated exemplary commitment to achieving and maintaining standards that go above and beyond the compliance with industry regulations and best practices. Number 2 findings, the Office of the Civil Defense RRMC Mimaropa recognizes an unwavering dedication to excellence, innovation, and sustainability of the Marinduque Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office, or PDRRMO. Third findings, Marinduque Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office has been honored Gawad Kalasag Seal of Excellence Beyond Compliant Award 2024, which was conferred during the 24th Gawad Kalasag Seal and Special Awards for Excellence in Disaster Risk and Reduction and Management and Humanitarian Assistance, calendar year 2024, the Manila Prince Hotel Ermita. Such an achievement serves as an inspiration to others, exemplifying the pursuit of excellence and the value of going above and beyond expectations. Therefore, the committee hereby recommends for the adoption of the resolution expressing the provincial government of Marinduque's profound congratulations and commendation to the Marinduque Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office for being awarded the Gawad Kalasag Seal of Excellence Beyond Compliant Award 2024. Was chaired by yours truly, Mark Julius Caballes as its vice person, Melgar Incabo, member, Deba Aurelio, member, and Antonio L. Mangkukang III, member. Therefore, the committee hereby recommends for the adoption of the resolution expressing the provincial Marinduque Provincial Risk Disaster Reduction Management Office for being awarded the Gawad Kalasag Seal of Excellence Beyond Compliant Award 2024.
Okay, so is the reporting committee chair formally moving for the adoption of the said committee report?
Okay.
The formal motion, the Honorable Peralta, will you please?
Yes. I move for the adoption of committee report number 553-2025.
It has been moved by Honorable Peralta that the committee report number 553-2025 of the Committee on Blue Ribbon, Good Governance, and Public Accountability, Human Rights, and Social Justice, with the subject proposed resolution number 2025-965 be adopted. Seconded by Honorable Rehano. There being no objection, motion is hereby carried.
Mr. Presiding Officer, the corresponding resolution be transferred to the business of the day.
It has been moved further that the corresponding proposed resolution be transferred to business of the day.
The next to report is the chairperson of the Committee on Education, Culture, and the Arts for committee report number 552-225, 2025.
Honorable Danilo Red is recognized.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning po sa lahat. Committee report number 552-2025, Committee on Education, Culture, and Arts. Subject, proposed resolution number 2025-963. Proposed resolution number 2025-964. Proposed resolution number 2025-970. the reporting committee unto what's referred to above mentioned subject matter is now ready to submit its finding and recommendations to this august body for appropriate legislative action. Proposed resolution number 2025-963 and 2025-964. Findings. The Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Marinduque takes pride in recognizing the remarkable accomplishments of Marinduqueños who brought honor and distinction to the province through their exemplary academic performance. Number 2, Ms. Lira Valenzuela Obien from Barangay Santol, Buac, under the Bachelor of Arts in Development Communication at the UP Los Baños, and Ms. Nelan Labagis Rebamonte under the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration at the Arellano University. Both have achieved the distinguished honor of graduating as magna cum laude, which demonstrated their exceptional dedication, perseverance, and excellence throughout their studies. Number 3, it is fitting to recognize students who, through their exceptional effort and unwavering dedication, have achieved outstanding and remarkable success in their chosen field of study. Number 4, their remarkable accomplishment reflects not only personal diligence, but also serve as inspiration to peers and the community. Therefore, the committee hereby recommends for the adoption of the following resolution. Resolution congratulating and commending Ms. Lira Valenzuela Obien from Barangay Santol, Buac, Marinduque, for graduating as magna cum laude in the Bachelor of Arts in Development Communication at the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, thereby bringing pride and honor to the province. And number 2, resolution congratulating and commending Ms. Nelan Labagis Rebamonte from Barangay Banahaw, Santa Cruz, Marinduque, for graduating as magna cum laude in Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Financial Management at Arellano University, thereby bringing pride and honor to the province. Therefore, the committee hereby recommends for the adoption of resolution endorsing to the Office of the Governor for financial assistance the student and coaches from Marinduque National High School, MNHS, who will be competing in TEMCO Global Finals Science Competition in Singapore. Respectfully submitted, Danilo Red, Chairperson, Bertinos Valencia, Member, Mark Julius Caballes, Member, Aurelio J. Leva III, Member, Mercedes Rejano, Member, Adeline Angeles, Governor, Vice Governor, ex officio member. I submit, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Red. But before that, thank you, Honorable Ismael Lim, for initially taking charge of presiding. Thank you, Honorable Lim. Honorable Red, there is a pending motion from Honorable Red for the adoption of the committee report as read. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The committee report as rendered by Honorable Red as chairperson is now adopted. Honorable Red.
Madam Chair, I move that
The resolution
be transferred to business of the day.
Thank you, Honorable Red. The resolution as an offshoot of the adopted report will be considered in the business for the day. Thank you, Honorable Red.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes, Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, may this representation be recognized for the committee report 554 of the Joint Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances and the Committee on Appropriation.
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Subject Municipal Ordinance Number 297, Series of 2025 of the Municipality of Santa Cruz. In consideration of the above titled subject matter, the Joint Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances and the Committee on Appropriation, and to which the subject matter was referred to, thereby presents its findings and recommendations as a result of the joint committee hearings called for the purpose on January 31, 2025. In attendance were the following: Honorable Leba III, Red Office Mercado, and Manggol. Findings: the Sangguniang Panlalawigan on January 21, 2025 was in receipt of Municipal Ordinance Number 297, Series of 2025 of the Municipality of Santa Cruz, entitled an ordinance authorizing the proposed borrowing of the Municipality of Santa Cruz, Marinduque in the amount of 35 million to be funded under the development of solid waste management facility. The proposed development of solid waste management facility is a local infrastructure in accordance with the approved local development plan and public incentive program of the Municipality of Santa Cruz, and is supported by a feasibility study prepared by the MENRO pursuant to Sangguniang Bayan Resolution Number 432 Series of 2023. The recommendation, therefore, the Joint Committee hereby recommends for the adoption of a resolution declaring Municipal Ordinance Number 297 Series of 2025 of the Municipality of Santa Cruz, Marinduque, an ordinance authorizing the proposed borrowing of the Municipality of Santa Cruz, Marinduque in the amount of 35 million pesos to fund the development of solid waste management facility as valid and within the power of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact, subject to the following conditions. Number 1, A, the amount to be loaned should be within the net borrowing capacity of the Municipality of Santa Cruz, Marinduque, as certified by the DOF, BAGLF, and other laws and regulations. The requirement of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas or DOF and BGLF was satisfied as per DO number 054-2016 among other guidelines, and the voting requirement as provided for in section 447823 and 4 of Republic Act 7160 was satisfied. Respectfully submitted, yours truly, as the Chairperson of the Committee on Rules, Honorable Ismael D. Pilim, Honorable Mark Julius P. Caballes, Honorable Bernardine E. Office Mercado, Honorable Jose Neril Manggol, Honorable Danilo R. Red, Honorable Martinez A. Valencia, and Honorable Adeline M. Angeles, Vice Governor and ex-officio member. Madam Presiding Officer, I move for the adoption of Committee Report Number 554, Series of 2025.
Any objection from the floor for the adoption of the report as rendered? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Committee Report Number 554-2024 of the Committee on Rules and Appropriation is now adopted.
And that the accompanying resolution be transferred to the business for the day portion of today's session.
Thank you. Noted, Honorable Leva. Thank you.
Madam Presiding Officer, may this presentation again be recognized for the Committee Report Number 555-225 of the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances.
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Letter from Dr. Lynn G. Mendoza, OIC Schools Division Superintendent, requesting consideration of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of the Provincial Ordinance Number 213, Series of 2024, to consider the rank titles be equated to the corresponding levels and be given due incentives for contests and competitions held last 2023 and onwards. The Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances, and to which the above stated subject matter is referred, hereby presents its findings and recommendation as a result of the committee hearing held on January 31, 2025 for consideration and appropriate legislative action of this honorable body. Present during the meeting were Honorable Aurelio Leba III, Office Mercado, and Honorable De Peralta. Resource persons, Dr. John M. Chavez, DepEd, Mr. Rolando O. Laracas, Office of the Governor, Mr. Dandrev de los Reyes, PYDO, and Ms. Clarissa R. Camero of the Provincial Accounting Office. Findings sa Sangguniang Panlalawigan through the Office of the Vice Governor received a letter from Dr. Lynn G. Mendoza, OIC, the Schools Division Superintendent, requesting consideration on the Provincial Ordinance Number 213 Series of 2023, which provides monetary incentives to top performers in athletics, sports, academic, and culture and the arts competitions. According to DepEd, contest sponsors have different ranks, different ways of recognizing the top performers, such as top 1, first place or rank 1, which is equivalent to the champion gold medalist as provided for in the ordinance. First runner-up silver medalist as top 2 second placer or rank 2, while the second runner-up or bronze medalist is equivalent to top 3 third place or rank 3. Some of the winners are requesting DepEd to change the certificates to what is stated in the ordinance for them to be able to claim the monetary incentives. The Provincial Accounting Office said that the ranking is acceptable in the equivalent awards provided in the provincial ordinance. However, they deemed it much better if the ordinance could be amended to provide for the ranking that is equivalent to what is provided in the ordinance. The Provincial Youth Development Office said that they have encountered situations wherein the winners are in the ranking position and they interpreted it as equivalent to the awards or medals provided for in the ordinance. However, they also recommend that having the ordinance amended properly reflecting the ranking positions of winners. The representative from the provincial governors of Marinduque recommended that instead of amending the ordinance, a resolution clarifying the said provision of the ordinance may be adopted by the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. He also suggested that if an athlete had won various awards, he or she should be granted appropriate incentive for each of the category which he or he won. According to another concern they raise is the incentive being granted to coaches who have multiple winning athletes or representatives. However, they are being granted only one incentive, which is the highest winning category. The Provincial Accounting Office opined that all of the winners which he or she coaches should be granted equivalent monetary incentives. It is recommended that an implementing rules and regulations should be crafted by the PYDO in coordination with the concerned agencies and officers for the proper implementation of the ordinance and for the guidance of the schools in the province. Number 7, there is also an instance of the boxing coach, which is not an official coach coming from the school, is claiming monetary incentive and it is not accordance with the provision of this ordinance. The DepEd is reminded that they only send official coaches which is from the respective school and is also recognized or authorized by their office. They also reminded that they should submit first the list of competing representatives as provided for in Section 12 of the Provincial Ordinance Number 213, Series of 2023. The DepEd also requested amending Section 12B of the ordinance by extending the period upon which to submit the list of winning representatives from 30 days to 6 months, considering that the winners, the coaches, and the school officials are busy preparing for the next level of competition. Winners who are from Marinduque but are studying in other schools outside of the province are not covered by the provincial ordinance but can be considered in other awards being conferred by the province, such as the Gawad Marinduqueño Award. Recommendation: the Provincial Ordinance Number 213 Series of 2023 shall be amended as follows. Article 3 and 4 to include the equivalent ranking of winners as requested by DepEd. Section 12B to extend the period upon submitting the list of winners and coaches from 30 days to 6 months, to include a provision that coaches who will have a multiple winning representative shall be granted all the corresponding monetary incentives, that the awards and incentives Management Board, in coordination with the Provincial Youth Development Office, shall formulate the implementing rules and regulations for the proper implementation of the Provincial Ordinance Number 213 Series of 2023 once amended. Respectfully submitted, yours truly, Honorable Caballes, Mercado Manggol Valencia, and Honorable Adeline M. Angeles, Vice Governor and Presiding Officer. Madam Presiding Officer, I move for the adoption of Committee Report Number 555 Series of 2025. I so move.
Is there any objection from the floor? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Committee Report number 555-2025, rendered by the Chair of the Committee on Rules, is now adopted.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I move for adoption of, for the approval on first reading of the proposed ordinance amending Articles 3, 5, and 6 of Provincial Ordinance number 213, series of 2023.
Any second to the motion?
move.
Thank you, Honorable Leva. Any second to the motion to approve on first reading? Seconded by Honorable Manggol, Honorable Rejano, Honorable Lim, Honorable De Peralta. Any objection? The Chair hears none. The motion is approved. The amendment to Provincial Ordinance number 213 series of 2023 as introduced in the adopted committee report is now adopted on first reading and further referred to the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances.
May I seek reconsideration that the Committee on Education, Culture, and the Arts be included as well as the Committee on Youth and Sports, Madam Presiding Officer.
And the lead committee is the Committee on Rules. Reconsideration is granted. It is likewise referred to the Committee on Education and Committee on Youth and Sports Development, with the Committee on Laws still as the lead committee. Thank you, Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, may this representation be recognized again for the Joint Committee Report number 556, series of 2025.
556. Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Joint Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances, and the Committee on Agriculture, Fisheries, and Aquatic Resources. Proposed Ordinance number 16-84 entitled, An Ordinance Institutionalizing Katuwang sa Diwa at Gawa at Masaganing Anin at Mataas na Kita o Kadiwa ng Pangulo in the Province of Marinduque, providing funds for its implementation and for other related purposes. The Joint Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances and the Committee on Agriculture, Fisheries, and Aquatic Resources, and to which the above stated subject matter is hereby referred to, presents its findings and recommendation as a result of the committee hearing held on January 21, 2025 for consideration and appropriate legislative action of the Honorable Body. Present were Honorables Leva III, Office Mercado ng Kukang III, and De Peralta. Resource person were Mr. Edelberto M. De Luna, Provincial Agriculturist, and Ms. Susan A. Uy, Assistant Provincial Agriculturist. Findings: the objectives of the ordinance are to ensure food security, stabilize prices, and guarantee the availability of affordable, fresh, and nutritious food for the residents of Marinduque, provide an opportunity for SMSEs to market their products without marketing layers, to support local farmers and fisher folks by providing them with a stable market, and to create a direct link between producers and consumers. The provincial government of Marinduque through the Provincial Agriculture's Office is already implementing the Kadiwa ng Pamahalaan and the Kadiwa on Wheels, which are reaching out to the barrios. However, the Provincial Agriculture said it would be better if Kadiwa ng Pangulo will be institutionalized. Recommended amendment. Section 2, it will be institutionalized as Kadiwa na Panlalawigan or KNP. Section 2A shall be referred to agricultural produce such as rice, vegetables, and fruits of farmers from various barangays. Section 3 shall read, the province of Marinduque shall establish and maintain Kadiwa outlets in a strategic within the province of Marinduque, running every 15th and 30th of the month as the minimum running time, beginning the 30th day of January 2025, to ensure accessibility to all residents. Section 7, the annual budget appropriation shall be in the amount of 16 million annually, considering that there will be a KNP stalls per municipality or cluster. The funds generated from the operation of the KNP are recommended to be deposited in a trust fund subject to comparing with the provincial budget officer if the same will shall be allowed. Recommendation: the Joint Call recommends for the consideration and approval on second reading of the proposed ordinance number 16-84 entitled An Ordinance Institutionalizing Katuwang sa Diwa at Gawa sa masaganang ani at mataas na kita ng panlalawigan in the province of Marinduque, providing funds for its implementation and for other related purposes. Respectfully submitted, yours truly as the Chairperson of the Committee on Rules, Honorable Adeline M. Angeles, concurred by Honorables Caballes, Rihano, Office Mercado, Lim, Manggol, De Peralta, and Valencia. Madam Presiding Officer, may move for the adoption of Committee Report Number 556, Series of 2025.
Any objection to the adoption of the committee report? Hearing none, the motion is approved. The committee report number 556-2025 as rendered by the Chair of the Committee on Rules on behalf of the Joint Committees of Rules and Agriculture is now adopted.
And that the proposed ordinance be calendar for second reading in the next session day.
Sorry. Thank you, Honorable Leva. This particular item shall be considered in the business for the day on the subsequent session for second reading.
Madam Presiding Officer, may this representation be recognized.
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Committee Report Number 557-2025, Joint Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances, and the Committee on Barangay Affairs and the Committee on Appropriation. On the subject, proposed ordinance number 16-85, entitled an ordinance recognizing the outstanding performers in the barangay level under the Gawad Barangay sa Puso ng Pilipinas Ordinance, creating a steering committee and providing funds for its implementation. Therefore, the Joint Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances, Committee on Barangay Affairs, and the Committee on Appropriation, unto which the above stated subject matter is referred, hereby presents its findings and recommendation as a result of the committee hearing held on January 31, 2025 for consideration and appropriate action of the Honorable Body. Present during the hearing are the following: Honorables Leva III, Dred Mangkukang III, Office Mercado, and De Peralta, and also person Mr. John Eric Matining of the DILG and Mr. Darrell A. Benaventura of the DILG. Findings: the proposed ordinance. The purpose of this ordinance is to recognize the significant contributions of barangay officials and workers in promoting governance, public welfare, and the overall development of the province. It also aims to encourage and recognize exemplary initiative of barangay officials and personnel by instituting a system of rewards to promote excellence in the barangay governance. The DILG is already conferring the seal of local governance for barangays and the Lupong Tagapayapa Incentives Award, and they suggested using the assessment tool as being used by their office in the granting of the Gawad Barangay so that they are consistent with one another. Recommended amendments: that Section 3, the categories of the award shall be as follows: Best Sangguniang Barangay, Best Performing Bunong Barangay, Best Performing Barangay Kagawad, Best Performing Barangay Secretary, Best Performing Barangay Treasurer, Best Performing Barangay Health Worker, Best Performing Barangay Health Nutrition Scholar, Best Performing Daycare Worker, Best Performing Barangay Tanod, Best Performing Lupong Tagapayapa, Best Performing Sangguniang Kabataan, Best Performing SK Chairperson, Best Performing SK Kagawad. Other similar awards as may be determined by the steering committee and approved by the provincial governor. Section 4. The criteria for selection shall be formulated by the steering committee. Section 5 shall read as follows: a steering committee is hereby created to oversee the implementation of this ordinance, including assessment, with emphasis on the word assessment, evaluation, selection, and awarding process. Section 6, it should be among and functions and responsibilities of the steering committee the formulation of the steering of the implementing rules and regulations. Section 5, the members of the steering committee shall include representatives from the Bureau of Treasury, the Provincial Health Office, the Provincial Nutrition Office, the Philippine National Police, and the SK Provincial President. Section 8, the funding appropriation shall be 5 million annually. The monetary award shall be 50,000 pesos for the best performers, 30,000 for the first runner-up, and 20,000 pesos for the second runner-up for every category. there shall be a Hall of Fame award for the best performing barangay category, who will get 3 consecutive awards with an award of 1 million pesos worth of projects. The starting performance year shall be for calendar year 2025, and the awarding will be on calendar year 2026. Recommendation: the joint committees recommend for the consideration and approval on second reading of the proposed ordinance number 16-85 entitled An Ordinance Recognizing Outstanding Performance in the Barangay Level under the Gawad Barangay sa Puso ng Pilipinas, creating a steering committee as providing funds for its implementation, therefore. Respectfully submitted, yours truly as the chairperson of the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances, Honorable Carlos F. D. Peralta as the chairperson of the Committee on Barangay Affairs, Honorable Ismael D. Pilim as the chairperson of the Committee on Appropriation, concurred by Honorables Caballos, Mangkukang III, Office Mercado, Red, Manggol, Rejano, Valencia, and Honorable Adeline M. Angeles, Vice Governor and ex-officio member. Madam Presiding Officer, move for the adoption of Committee Report number 557, series of 2025.
Thank you, Honorable Leva. Any objection to the adoption of the report number 555-2025 of the Committee on Rules? The Chair hears none. The motion is approved. The report of the Committee on Rules number 556-2025 is now adopted.
And that the accompanying ordinance be transferred to the business for the day in the next session day.
Thank you, Honorable Leva. The Secretary will please take note of the manifestation of the Chair of the Committee on Rules also.
Now we go to the committee report of the Joint Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances and the Committee on Social Services. May I ask that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Social Services.
The Chair of the Committee on Social Services is recognized.
Good morning po. The committee report subject as the giving authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement between Department of Social Welfare and Development and the provincial government. Their honorable members of the SP. This is to formally endorse for your legislative action the adoption of a resolution granting authority to the undersigned to represent the province in entering the into a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Marinduque, and Provincial Government Unit of Marinduque. The Republic Act 7160, known as the Local Government Code of 1991, provides the LGUs to implement the program and projects for child and youth welfare, community welfare, women's welfare, and welfare for elderly and disabled persons. Department of Social Welfare and Development Memorandum Circular Number 10, Series of 2018, provides that the DSWD assess the LGUs, local social welfare and development offices by providing direction for the SWD. This agreement are manifested through the technical assistance and resource augmentation program of the DSWD. Under the TARA program, is the technical assistance consists of non-monetary intervention and the following forms, which are designed to enhance the capacity of LSWDs based on needs assessment for the effective implementation of SWD program. For your reference, attached herein are the proposed memorandum of agreement and the legal opinion of the provincial legal officer on this matter. We trust in this will merit your affirmative response. Thank you very much po. Upon the review of the careful review, for Honorable Presbytero Velasco Jr., the Provincial Governor, dated January 15, 2025, document review memorandum of agreement between the Department of Social Welfare and Development and the Provincial Government Unit of Marinduque. Upon careful review of the above-mentioned the memorandum of agreement, the Provincial Legal Office made the difference comment and observation. This often finds no legally objectionable provision in the endorsed draft of the proposed MOA. Further, this office recommends the following to effectively carry out the obligation of the provincial government under the said MOA. A, the Provincial Social Welfare Development Office, in coordination with other relevant offices, be apprised of the obligation of the provincial government under the MOA to ensure compliance therewith. We hope for this guide and all persons concerned accordingly. Yours truly, attorney. So we have read already the document and of our legal officer, and we have also the memorandum of agreement here. Can be read by ours, and I hope that everybody have already read it in a copy of this. So I move that for the adoption of this giving authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement between the Department of Social Welfare and Development and the Provincial Government Unit. I so move for the adoption. And any.
Thank you, Honorable Rihano. This is a good program. At the same time, siguro po pag na-approve na natin ito ay sa pangunguna ho ng chairman ng committee ng social services ay maupuan din ho natin yung social MSWDO natin ho para lang ho sa leveling ng expectation ng responsibility naman sa panig ng provincial government. Because baka ho marami na po tayong mga napapasok na memorandum of agreement, pero dahil po sa parang hindi nasusundan pare-pareho, minsan ho ay may mga naglalaps ang time na hindi masyado na ma-maximize ang provisions ng ilan hong memorandum of agreement na ating pinapasok, na nagiging dahilan kung bakit minsan ay may nababalik na funds or minsan ay parang maiwasan lang yung nagkakaasahan po. So maganda ho na after po nating mabigyan ng authority ang ating gobernador ay maka-request din tayo sa PSWD ng konting briefing, orientation sa lahat ho ng mga personalities and officers na magkakaroon ho ng role in the implementation of this memorandum of agreement.
So meaning, Vice, Madam Presiding Officer, we are before or after we are going to have a committee hearing?
After na po. I think pwedeng after ho. It's just a leveling of appreciation and understanding doon ho sa nilalaman ng MOA na atin hong pinasok or pinapasok para masigurado ho na meron hong tumututok doon ho sa mga responsibilities na kinocommit ho ng provincial government.
Okay. Thank you, and noted po, Ms. Presiding Officer.
Kung pwede ho ay maisama lang ho sa committee recommendation para po ma-remind lang ho tayo pareho na meron hong tayong hihilingin sa PSWD or sa executive na leveling off doon or updating doon ho sa pinapasok ho nating MOA.
Okay. Noted po, Madam Presiding Officer, and all of the na ating pong pag-uusapan ay with regards with the MOA.
Thank you po.
Yung pong within the MOA, or between the social services and the provincial government.
Thank you po. And some related social services concerns po.
Okay po.
Sige.
Thank you. So I move for the adoption of this resolution, of this memorandum of agreement.
Committee report po.
Of this, I move for the adoption of this committee report
As amended.
as amended.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Rehano.
And can we tackle this already for the business for the day?
Thank you, Honorable Rehano. Is there any objection to the adoption of the committee report as rendered by the Chair of the Committee on Social Services with some additional request from the presiding officer? Any objection? The Chair hears none. The motion is approved. The committee report as rendered by the Chair of the Committee on Social Services with regards to the proposed memorandum of agreement between the provincial government of Marinduque and DSWD is now adopted. And likewise, this particular item, with regard to the resolution favorably endorsing the granting of authority for this purpose, will now be considered in the business for the day. Thank you, Honorable Rehano. Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask that we recognize the Chairperson of the Committee on Public Works and Infrastructure for its committee report.
Honorable Lim is recognized.
Madam Chair, Mr. Floor Leader, my colleagues, good afternoon. Hi, good morning. I present here now the committee report of the Committee on Infrastructure relative to the letter of Mr. Alfonso A. Mariali, Jr. of the Department of Interior and Local Government, informing us that they have no capital outlay to fund the request for financial assistance for the construction of a provincial legislative building, a multipurpose building in the province of Marinduque. However, the DILG director was kind enough to redirect our request to the Department of Budget and Management, DBM, for possible funding under the Local Government Support Fund financial assistance to LGUs or LGSF FALGO through DBM apps portal. So the committee recommends favorably the submittal of the same request to the same request for financial assistance for the construction of provincial legislative building, multipurpose building in the province of Marinduque to the Local Government Support Fund financial assistance to LGUs as recommended. Madam Chair, the committee report of the Committee on Infrastructure I hereby submit.
Thank you. So it will be, we will adopt a new resolution, this time addressed to DBM through the maybe Secretary Pangandaman. Tama po ba? Siya pa rin, ano? Through Secretary Pangandaman for the provincial government of Marinduque to avail of the local government support funds for the purpose of ang tawag dito yung sa construction of a legislative bill.
While this, Madam Chair, is a jab to the moon, we will see where our request will go.
Thank you. And maybe we have to make the necessary connection to directly to the DBM central and at the same time to the regional office for possible support on this. Anyway, I know na may mga kilala ang ating mga kasama, not to mention the support of our congressman with regard to this.
Better, Madam Chair, if the said resolution would be noted by our congressman and of course our governor.
Yeah, and we will inform the congressman and the governor in advance that we are requesting the assistance for their possible support. There is a pending motion, Honorable Lim.
Moving, Madam Chair, that the said committee report be adopted.
Any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. The committee report as rendered by by the Chair of the Committee on Appropriation, by the Committee on Infrastructure is now adopted.
Moving further, Madam Chair, that the proposed resolution be transferred to business of the day.
And likewise, the proposed resolution addressed to the DBM will be considered in the business for the day. Thank you, Honorable
Thank
Lee.
you, Madam Chair.
Honorable Leva.
The next to report is the chairperson of the Committee on Transportation.
Honorable Tres Mangkukang is recognized.
Maraming salamat po, Binibining Tagapangulo at sa ating ginoong floor leader. The Committee on Transportation is now ready to report. The province of Marinduque is an island province who is relying primarily on roll-on, roll-off RoRo services enriching mainland Luzon and other neighboring provinces and cities. And one of the concerns of the province is the deficiency on direct transport services that will transfer commuters and tourists, as well as goods and commodities from the mainland Luzon, particularly in Metro Manila, directly to the province using RoRo services. If granted, the operation of direct bus transport to the province will provide great convenience and safety to the commuting public, tourists, and commodities, which will redound to the social and economic progress of the province. So, the Committee on Transportation is favorably requesting approved to pass a resolution to request the Del Monte Land Transport Bus Company or DLTB Co. to operate the Manila-Marinduque route and vice versa, and expressing promise of Marinduque support to the said operation if favorably considered. Respectfully reporting, the Committee on Transportation, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Mangkukang. May the presiding officer be clarified. What will be the implication of this to one, the previous endorsement that we did with regard to the van operators, and at the same time to the local transport groups who may be affected by the entry of big bus company.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Katulad po ng jackliner, meron silang isa o dalawang bus o isang bus na nagbabiyahe every other day dito sa ating lalawigan. At ganoon din po ang ating magiging tema ng kahilingan sa kanila. Isa o dalawang bus lang din ang papasok sa atin dito para magdala ng ating mga commuters, lalo na ang ating mas maraming mga pangarga. Mas maraming mga dalang mga pangarga ng ating mga kababayang mananakay dito sa ating lalawigan, gawin din sa mga lumalabas ng ating probinsya. So ito naman po, ang epekto po nito, sa tingin ko ay wala naman po, kasi healthy competition, Madam Chair. Mas maraming pumapasok na transport system katulad ng ibang probinsya, katulad ng ibang mga syudad na halos lahat ng mga kumpanya ng mga bus at mga van operators ay nasa kanilang mga terminals, at ito ay nagpapakita na ang isang lugar ay umaasenso at lumalago ang ekonomiya, at nagpapakita na ito ay senyales ng mas umuusad at nagiging progresibo ang isang lugar, Madam Chair. So tingin ko po hindi ito makakaapekto sa ating aplikante na mga van operators, kasi ang van po ay door-to-door. Susunduin sila sa kanilang mga bahay, dadalhin sa kanilang mga bahay. So ito pong bus naman ay point-to-point. Pupunta ang ating mga mananakay sa kanilang istasyon, katulad po na ginagawa ng mga mananakay natin sa jackliner, sila pupunta sa mga stations ng mga bus terminals. Kaya ito po ay malaki ang pagkakaiba, Madam Chair. Thank you po.
Just an additional information, it itama lang po ang presiding officer just in case may ibang impormasyon. Una ho, sa pagkakaalam ho natin, ang pagpasok ng jackliner sa ating lalawigan ay hindi pa masasabing fully legitimate. Dahil nga wala silang rota talaga sa lalawigan at ang kanilang pagpasok dito, should I say, is just parang tolerated. But in reality, they do not have an actual franchise to ply the route dito. In fact, nung nagsisimula silang pumasok dito, kaya ko po ito na-remind, ay sapagkat marami ho ang umaangal, sapagkat parang sinasabi na isa rin sila sa naging dahilan kung bakit nawala o medyo parang naapektuhan kahit na yung mga jeep na umiikot sa ating lalawigan, sapagkat yung mga pumupunta sa pier halimbawa ay hindi na sumasakay sa mga local transportation papuntang Balanacan, kundi dumidiretso na sila, sumasakay na sila doon sa bus. So una po siguro na concern natin dito ay when we recommend officially a certain bus station to ply a route which is not yet approved. Wala pang approved route. Hindi po ba parang tinotolerate natin officially ang pagpasok ng company, quote-unquote, without proper rota? Yun nga po, hindi ko rin po alam, pero yun ho ang huling pagkakaintindi ko eh. Diretsahan, parang illegal.
Apo.
At sinasabi nga po na yung mga sumasakay, in fact, merong isang nag-call ng attention ko na minsan kung bakit pinapayagan ng lalawigan ang ganitong sitwasyon, samantalang kung may mangyari along the way, ay walang magiging masyadong pananagutan o walang masyadong proteksyon yung mga sasakay na mga Marinduqueño doon, sapagkat their pagpasok is not legitimate, is not yet fully legal. So, yun, maganda rin hong tingnan yun. Will it be safe? May mga parang nakikita po ako na mga implications nito. Parang ganun din po sa van eh. 'Di ba? Nagpa-apply sila ng rota Marinduque, Manila. But anytime kung tutuusin, pwede silang hulihin dahil wala ngang official or approved rota. Nagkataon lang na siguro maganda ang relasyon ng kumpanya na pumupunta din dito, kaya hindi sila masyado naku-question. But in reality, correct me if I'm wrong, their mere presence dito sa ating lalawigan is already questionable. So if we are going to recommend another company, then we are tolerating, hindi kaya po, we may be tolerating a questionable na pagpasok ng mga ganito po.
Okay po. Madam Chair, ang Sangguniang Panlalawigan po, tayo ay ang Bayan ng Buwak ang pangalawang nag-initiate nung pagkatapos ng pandemya, at ang Sangguniang Bayan, ang Pamahalang Bayan ng Buwak ang nakaisip muli na i-request ang nabinbin at naantalang pagpasok ng jackliner sa ating lalawigan. At ito ay pinadala nila dito sa atin to support their resolution. At ang ginawa po ng Sangguniang Panlalawigan ay tayo na mismo yung nagpadala na nire-request natin na pumasok ulit dito ang jackliner para makabiyahe ulit sila for the convenience of our Marinduqueños. Yes po, nagawa po natin yan. Ako na po, sa hawak ko na po yun, Madam Chair. Akin na po yun. Kaya po, kung hindi natin ito pagbibigyan, ito po ay contradictory doon sa unang nating resolution na request sa jackliner. At ito po ay magiging, ang jackliner ay malalagay sa alanganin at mag-question sila, hindi na sila pwedeng papasukin dito. So, kumbaga po sa atin ay tinitingnan natin na mas marami ang matutulungang mananakay, at dumarami na po ang umuwi sa atin sa Marinduque, dumadami ito at di kaya ng ating transport group, at ang bus ay, yan po ay may legal na pwede silang mag-apply as bus operator ano po, unlike sa van na wala po ruta, wala po, hindi po kasama sa route ang kaya po hindi po narito pwedeng isang tabi, Madam Chair, kasi kung binigyan natin ang jackliner, kailangan natin bigyan at papasukin din lahat yan. Kumbaga yun ay parang manipula kung isa lang kumpanya ang binigyan natin ng pabor. Hayaan natin ang lahat ay makapasok dito, makapagserbisyo sa atin. It's a sign of development, Madam Chair. I think wala pa akong nakitang masama dito. At kung ang jackliner ay nakakapasok dito, why not hindi sila makapasok? Ano po? Thank you po, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Mangkukang. We are trying to review the resolution dahil bigla po akong naalarma na meron tayong na-approve na resolution. Ang nandito po ay okay, medyo meron nga po tayong na-approve with regard to jackliner. Na nire-request sila to resume the operation. So that is a manifestation of social acceptability pa lang ho on the part sa atin. So kaya lang ho, tingnan din po natin yung law of supply and demand. Ano po ba ang gusto talaga natin? We must consider kung halimbawa priority na sa bawat pagpasok po ng ganito ay may mga sektor na naaapektuhan. Totoo po yan. Lagi po yung may maaapektuhan ng mga local transport na maganda rin hong mapakinggan. Tama po kayo na meron tayong naibigay na sa jack. Kaya lang ho ay lahat ho ba ng kumpanya ay ating i-endorso? Or tinitingnan din ho natin yung law of supply and demand? Kung lahat ho, para ho yung para ho yung company na pare-pareho ang interest, pare-pareho lang naman ang kliyente. We may need to prioritize sometimes kung ano ba yung priority natin. Kagaya nga po noon, meron tayong mga van operators, sabi natin karamihan ng mga nandito ay mga Marinduqueño. So ako po personally, nakikita ko po yung kahalagahang masuportahan sila. Pero kung lahat din ho ng bus station ay papapasukin natin sa ating lalawigan, baka tayo rin ho ang pumatay sa sarili nating mga gustong tulungan. Kagaya ho ng mga van operators na gusto nating tulungan. Dahil, syempre, yan naman ho ay sa aking pananaw. But again, the presiding officer is just pointing some issues na maaring dapat nating tingnan. But at the end of the day, the committee will have its final recommendation.
Madam Chair, kung sinasabi po natin na lahat ng bus station papasukin natin dito, dalawa lang po ang may ruta dito sa South. Dito sa papuntang Quezon, papunta ng Talaw-Talaw Port.
Pero wala pong rota sa Marinduque.
Apo. So, ang ruta lang po niyan ay jackliner at saka DLTV. Sila lang po dalawa ang nakakapasok ng Talaw-Talaw Port.
Kaya nga, papayag ba sila na hanggang pier lang sila? Para yung namang mga jeep at saka yung mga vans na local transport natin ay hindi maapektuhan. Dahil sa totoo lang, pag pinapasok natin yan, sino pa ang masakay sa van na mapunta sa pier? Sino pa ang masakay sa jeep na mapunta sa pier?
Madam Chair, point to point po yon. Magkaroon po sila ng terminal dito, katulad po ng jackliner.
Wala pong terminal ang jackliner dito dahil walang rota ang bus stations dito sa ating lalawigan. Hanggang dyan lang po sila sa Lucena ang kanilang franchise, ang kanilang rota. Yung pong pagpasok nila dito, nga po yun, tolerated lang dahil sa tingin natin ay nakakatulong sa atin, but it is not legal. So again, what is the pleasure of the reporting committee chair, Honorable Mangkukang?
Thank you po, Madam Chair. The Committee on Transportation favorably endorsed the passage of a resolution and moving for the adoption of the committee report. And likewise, the corresponding resolution be calendared in the business for the day, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Honorable Leva.
I move for an amendment, Madam Presiding Officer, that instead the title should be, or depends upon the taxation of the sponsor. If we will have a separate ordinance, or we have one ordinance alone, that resolution requesting Del Monte and Jack Liner to operate an LTFRB approved Marinduque Manila route and vice versa.
Is the reporting committee chair amenable to
Yes,
that?
Madam Chair, the committee chairperson is amenable to that.
Thank you. So there is a pending motion for the adoption of an amended report rendered by the, yes, Honorable Manggol? Oo. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The amended report rendered by the chair of the Committee on Transportation is now adopted.
Manifestation, Madam Chair, I think it's proper na kanya-kanyang request, huwag pagsamahan yung kanya-kanyang company sa isang resolution. Resolution for Jack Liner and resolution for DLTV. Para po, kanya-kanya silang resolution. Hindi po silang, parang unethical na magkasama sila sa isang resolution. Thank you pa.
Okay. Thank you. And you want to request for its adoption today or in the subsequent session?
Today, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Same content po as per recommendation of that floor leader. Yun po ang content ng ating title. Pero po, bibigyan po natin ng separate sila. Hindi po natin pagsasamahin yung kanilang company sa isang resolution. Each company per resolution, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Honorable Mangkukang. May draft naman na ano po, may draft resolution. So the two proposed resolutions in the adopted committee report will be included in the business for the day.
Okay, Madam Presiding Officer, that's all for the committee reports. We now go to the calendar of business. We don't have any unfinished business. For the business for the day, the first item in the business for the day is the accompanying resolution of the Committee on Rules, Laws, and Ordinances and the Committee on Women, Family, Welfare, and Gender Development. May this representation be recognized for the adoption of a resolution.
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, may move for the adoption of a resolution enjoining the municipalities of Gasan and Santa Cruz to pass the respective municipal ordinances on the localization or implementation of the provisions of Republic Act 8972 as amended by Republic Act 11861. I so move.
And any second to the motion? Duly seconded. Hindi kaya, before the presiding officer makes a ruling, hindi kaya ma-offend, although ma-offend ang concerned LGUs na parang pinapangunahan natin sila? What if they don't want to enact an ordinance and that is not in their priorities?
May we know from the President of the Philippine Councilors League.
Okay, kasi may mga munisipyo na ayaw nilang mag-enact dahil hindi priority sa budget nila at this point in time. Or hindi pa yung priority sector nila. Ngayon, pag in-enjoy natin sila, para bang hindi kaya palibasa, meron na yung iba. Ano yung right term?
What will be the case? If that will be the case, can we just furnish them a copy of the committee report?
Or just in case they want?
For their perusal of that they are the only, hindi na po tayo magawa ng resolution that only Gasan and Santa Cruz are the municipalities with we will not request them, we will not enjoin them to do the same, but we will just inform
furnishing them just in case they will be interested to pass similar ordinance.
Yes, Madam Presiding Officer.
Maybe here the comment of the PCL President.
Unang-una po, kasi po nabanggit lang yung mugpok po meron ng ordinance regarding that localization po ng RA 8972. But I agree po na tama po yun, punishing the copy of the committee report para po
ma-inspire lang sila.
Yes, po, para malaman nila na sila lang po ang walang o hindi nagpa-implement nitong
but we will not adopt a resolution addressed to them anymore.
Informing them.
Oh.
Madam Chair.
So just a simple communication, furnishing them copy of the committee
Committee
report related to sa ordinances, on ordinance on ganyan. And
On solo
napag-alaman
parent.
natin na wala pa sila. So just in case they will be interested,
Yes, Madam Chair.
this may serve as guidance.
Yes.
Ayan. Parang mas ano siya, mas prudent. Oo, baka sabihin, ba't ba marunong pa kayo sa amin?
Yes.
Ayan.
So, Madam Presiding
thank you.
Officer, on that note, I'm withdrawing my initial motion, Madam Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Honorable Leva. And at the same time, noting the recommendation, a formal communication addressed to the two concerned Sangguniang Bayan will, through the presiding officer, will be sent, informing them that this committee report is about solo parents ordinances, just in case they will be interested to enact this similar ordinance. Thank you, Honorable Leva.
Thank you. Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask to recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Education, Culture, and the Arts for the adoption of a resolution.
The Honorable Danny R. Red is recognized.
Madam Chair, I move for the omnibus motion of proposed resolution number 2025-963, proposed resolution number 2025-964, proposed resolution number 2025-970, resolution congratulating and commending Ms. Lira Valenzuela Obien from Barangay Santol, Buwak, Marinduque, for granting as magna cum laude in Bachelor of Arts in Development Communication at the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, thereby bringing pride and honor to the province. And number 2, resolution congratulating and commending Ms. Nelan Labagis Ribamonte from Barangay Banahaw, Santa Cruz, Marinduque, for graduating as magna cum laude in Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Financial Management at Arellano University, thereby bringing pride and honor to the province. And resolution endorsing to the Office of the Governor for the financial assistance the students and coaches from the Marinduque National High School, MNHS, who will be competing in STEMCO Global Finals Science Competition in Singapore. I move for the approval, Madam Chair. I so move.
Thank you, Honorable Red. There is an omnibus motion from Honorable Red for the adoption of the 3 resolutions as mentioned by the sponsoring chair. Any second to the omnibus motion? Seconded by Honorable Manggol, Honorable Mangkukang, Honorable Lim. Any objection? The chair hears none. The omnibus motion is approved. The following 3 proposed resolutions are hereby adopted. Resolution number 2025-963, Resolution number 2025-964, and Resolution number 2025-970.
Madam Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Honorable Red.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask to recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Blue Ribbon, Good Governance and Public Accountability and Human Rights and Social Justice for the approval of a resolution.
Honorable Carlos de Peralta is recognized.
Madam Chair, this representation moves for the approval of the resolution expressing the provincial government of Marinduque's profound congratulations and commendation to the Marinduque Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office for being awarded the Gawad Kalasag Seal of Excellence Beyond Compliant Award 2024. So move, Madam Chair.
Any second? Duly seconded by Honorable Manggol, Honorable Mangkukang, Honorable Lim. Tama ba? Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Resolution expressing the provincial government of Marinduque's profound congratulations and commendations to the Marinduque Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office for being awarded the Gawad Galasag Seal of Excellence for 2024 is now approved. Thank you, Honorable De Peralta.
Madam Presiding Officer, may this representation be recognized for an approval of a resolution?
Proceed, Honorable Leva.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I move for the approval of a resolution declaring Municipal Ordinance Number 297 Series of 2025 of the Municipality of Santa Cruz, Marinduque entitled an ordinance authorizing the proposed borrowing of the Municipality of Santa Cruz, Marinduque in the amount of 35 million pesos to fund the development of solid waste management facility as valid and within the power of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact. I so move.
How about the conditions?
Subject to conditions.
Subject to conditions. Okay. Any second to the motion? Duly seconded. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The resolution declaring Municipal Ordinance Number 297, Series of 2025 of the Municipality of Santa Cruz, Marinduque as valid and within the authority of the said LGU to enact subject to the conditions enumerated in the committee report.
Madam Presiding Officer, we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Social Services for the adoption of a resolution.
Honorable Mercy Rehano is recognized.
I move for the approval of the resolution authorizing to enter into a memorandum of agreement between Department of Social Welfare and Development and Provincial Government Unit of Marinduque. I so move.
Any second to the motion? Duly seconded. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The resolution granting authority to Honorable Governor Presbitero Velasco Jr. to enter into a memorandum of agreement for and on behalf of the province of Marinduque and the Department of Social Welfare and Development is now adopted.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask to recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Public Works and Infrastructure.
Honorable Lim is recognized.
Madam Chair, Mr. Floor Leader, my colleagues, again, good morning. I move that we pass a resolution to the Department of Budget and Management under Local Government Support Fund financial assistance to LGUs relative to the request for financial assistance for the construction of provincial legislative building, multipurpose building in the province of Marinduque. Madam Chair, I so move.
Thank you, Honorable Lim. Any second? Duly seconded. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The resolution addressed to the
DBM.
Department of Budget and Management through the Secretary and subject to style with the concerned officials for the province of Marinduque to avail of the local
Provincial Legislative Building.
Local Development Fund. Anong tawag po sa fund?
Local Government Support Fund.
Local Government Support Fund for the purpose of constructing a new legislative building is now adopted. Thank you, Honorable Lim.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I ask to recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Transportation for the approval of a resolution.
Honorable Mangkukang is recognized.
Thank you po, Madam Chair. The committee, with the indulgence of the Committee on Transportation, I am formally moving for the passage of a resolution requesting the DLTB company to operate
a LTFRB approved Manila Marinduque route and vice versa, and expressing province of Marinduque's support to the said operation if favorably considered. I so move, Madam Chair.
Any second to the motion? Duly seconded. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The resolution addressed to BLTB?
Apa.
BLTB company requesting to operate an LTFRB
Approved po.
approved Manila Marinduque route and vice versa is now approved.
And also, Madam Chair, formally moving for the passage of a resolution requesting the jackliner to operate a LTFRB approved Manila Marinduque route and vice versa, and expressing province of Marinduque support to the said operation if favorably considered. I so move, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Mangkukang. Any second? Duly seconded. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The resolution requesting the jackliner bus company to operate an LTFRB Manila Marinduque route and vice versa, and expressing the province of Marinduque support to the said operation if favorably considered is now approved. Thank you, Honorable Mangkukang. So what is the pleasure of the body with regard to the other item in the unassigned business? So the other unassigned business was referred to the Committee on Appropriation. The another unassigned business is the request for reconsideration for some adjustment in the amount of the already approved resolution and the separation of the resolution into three separate resolutions. Honorable Lim, the chair of the Committee on Appropriation, is recognized.
Madam Chair, relative to that, the Committee on Appropriations will conduct a committee hearing on Monday, February 17.
With regard to the items referred.
Relative to
Okay.
the items referred and all others, Madam Chair, that was previously referred to.
Okay, but this particular item or concern is just a reconsideration to an already approved resolution. So may we know the recommendation and the and the motion of the chair of the Committee on Appropriation. Is the chair of the Committee on Appropriation ready to recommend approval of the adjustment?
Yes, Madam Chair, with the indulgence of the Committee on Appropriations, this representation moves for the approval of the amendments
Amended.
as stated, Madam Chair.
Okay. There is a motion for the approval of the amended supplemental appropriation for the three offices under the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. Any second to the motion? Duly seconded. Any objection? The chair hears none. The amended version of the supplemental appropriation for the three offices under the legislative is now approved. And all other items referred to the Committee on Appropriation, they will have a committee hearing on?
Yes, Madam Chair, we will have a committee hearing on Monday, February 17 at 10 o'clock. February 10 at 10 o'clock, Madam Chair.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Lim. Any other item?
Madam Presiding Officer,
Proceed, Honorable Lim.
that's all for the unassigned business. We don't have any proposed ordinance and resolution for third and final reading.
Meron pa po na announcement? Yes,
Kung wala na
Honorable
po,
Lim.
I move to adjourn, Madam Presiding Officer.
With that, the session is adjourned, and our next session will be on next Tuesday at 10 o'clock in the morning.